First of all, can we have a round of applause for Spencer the Wiz and Dexter Reed, a world of matchups? Let me tell you something. You guys have no idea how dedicated to this we are. It's 7 a.m., 8 a.m. on a Saturday. This guy's got a girlfriend. I got a wife. We could be in bed right now. But we understand also the importance of bringing the people the heat every week, and we are dedicated to the grave, to the National Football League handicapping games. So that's what we do here at World of Matchups, and we're going to start with the Saturday slate. We got games starting in a couple hours, Spencer. Yikes.
Yeah, I didn't know that until literally like 5 minutes ago. I did not know there was Saturday football today, so that's a great positive.
Yeah, we're going to push this out for you guys and get this going. Let's go. Minnesota Vikings, they head to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Bengals minus the 3 points. We are starting Nick Mullins because Joshua Dobbs has regressed so poorly. Kevin O'Connell sees fit to make the quarterback change. The Bengals, who just continue to keep winning with Jake Browning, are home. And they're minus the 3. I'm going to take the Bengals. I've bet against them the last couple weeks, and they just keep showing up. Kind of what scares me in this game, though, is the inability of Jake Browning to really push the ball outside of that one long pass he hit to Jamar 2 weeks ago. Everything has been kind of dink and dunk. I think the Viking defense will notice this and make the necessary adjustments, but they're still home. They still have Joe Mixon. The emergence of Chase Brown has been something of note. This is a really good rookie here, and I think he's good enough to the point where they may waive Joe Mixon at the end of the year. Joe Mixon took a pay cut to come back. Outside of winning the Super Bowl, which I don't think they will, I could see him being on another team next year. They're starting to get T. Higgins involved, and Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. Bengals defense plays better at home than they do on the road. And the bottom line is, can Nick Mullins get these, pass catchers the ball? Can he get Hawkinson the ball? Can he get Jay Jettis the ball? I mean, when was the last Nick Mullins start? I couldn't even tell you. I know he's a decent backup. He's not a awful scrub. But on the road in December, I think this is a tough ask here. I'm going to take the Bengals minus the 3 with confidence.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something weird about this line. I mean, I was pretty shocked last week on the results against the Colts. I mean,
Me too.
Put up like 30-something points, and it really didn't even matter who was at quarterback. So I guess you got to give a lot of credit to the head coach. And you know what? The more I think about it, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. But that first week, it was against the Steelers. Browning didn't look very good, but it's a rookie quarterback. It's your first start. I mean, it's so hard, man. The NFL is so hard to win football games, and I think it's like even more impressive to see how he played against the Colts. And if they play anything like that, Minnesota's not good. I mean, that Raiders game was just, oh man, it was something else. I just don't. There aren't teams that play like that. Like the Raiders just put on these like really weird performances. It's just what they're known for. And I just think if they play half as good as they did against the Colts, this is going to be such a blowout. So the 3 points is strange to me. Like it doesn't look right, but I don't know. I'm going to get fooled. Like maybe they're just begging you to take it, and I'll take the bait because there's no way I'm taking the Vikings in this spot.
I can't take the Vikings here. The Vikings can barely score last week, and I don't think it really gets much better here. I think ground game will be the difference, man. Mixon and Brown are legitimate ground threats, and while I know Minnesota has a decent front four, Bengals are home, man. Give me those 3 points all day and lay it with confidence. Next, interesting game, Pittsburgh Steelers, the 1:30 afternoon game. They head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm going to tell you going in the door here, I like the Steelers for a couple different reasons. Number one, they've lost back-to-back games to teams who have 2 wins. This can't continue. It just can't. Now, we all know Kenny Pickett is hurt. He's out. Now we're looking at one of the worst draft picks in all time being a starting quarterback. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. However, I think Mike Tomlin will have this team ready to play. He's too good of a coach, and they're too good of a team, honestly. I mean, I know they've won with smoke and mirrors all year, and that's why you've seen these back-to-back losses to 2-win teams. but the Colts can be beat up in their secondary. They give up big air yards. Trubisky isn't horrendous. Look, there's an argument to be had that Trubisky is better than Pickett. There really is. Jalen Warren has emerged. Najee Harris inside the 5 should be good enough to go. And if they can never get George Pickens the ball, they can win games. That's really what it boils down to. They fired Matt Canada. Things got better for a little while, but then they kind of regressed. Look, AG Magic, my homeboy, hit me with this little gem that I didn't know. The Colts defense in their building all year has given up an average of 28 points. At home. At home. I can't see Pittsburgh losing this game. I've been on the Zach Moss train twice in the last 2 weeks, and they've disappointed me both times. I don't believe in Gardner Minshew. I do like Michael Pittman, but inevitably the bottom line will be that the Steelers defense is still the Steelers defense. As long as TJ Watt's out there, as long as Minkah Fitzpatrick is out there, it's a coin flip on the road, and the more desperate team wins these kind of games. And I've picked Pittsburgh to win these kind of games on the road before, i.e. when they went into Los Angeles and beat the Rams, and everyone laughed at me, and that's exactly what happened. I'm going to take them here to do it again. If you want to even safer bet, I think the over hits here for sure. I mean, there's a lot of points to be scored in these games. Their defenses are good, but their defense they also give up a lot of points. Pittsburgh in the play here.
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh too. I don't know, if they've ever lost 3 in a row under Tomlin. I'd have to go back. It just doesn't seem like. Just seems like one of those statistics, right? He's never had a losing season there, so it'd be really difficult for them to have a 3-game losing streak. So, just when you think about those things, I mean, how badly and how embarrassing those last 2 losses have been. I mean, you're just going to play with the fire underneath it. At least you would think. I mean, if they lose this game, I'd be happy. I hate the Steelers, but
I hate them too. But
yeah, it's kind of just a fact. He's a Hall of Fame coach. They've probably just getting really beat up, but that's why he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's going to have these guys ready to play on. I was going to say Sunday, but it's Saturday. Saturday, Sunday. I don't think it matters. I'll take the Steelers. I think my ticket for the day is going to be the points for Cincinnati, the -3, and I'll take money line for Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Our 3-team teaser missed last week. We only hit 1 out of the 3, but I'd be willing to sign up the Pittsburgh Steelers and that over. I mean, it's 41.5 here. I mean, if you want a 3-team teaser, we'll start by teasing that over down. I think these 2 teams are going to score a lot today. No weather. It's indoors. The defenses are suspect when it comes to giving up points. I like that a lot, but we'll keep that warm and see what else we come up with here on the slate. Next.
No, we hit 2 of our on our teaser last week.
Did we hit 2 out of 3?
Yeah, the under hit in the Jets game. It was close. Jeez,
it was
that
close.
Second half was
That's
insane.
right.
And then we took the Buccaneers and they won. So it was just the over and the Raiders came in.
Boy, you guys want a soldier that covers every week, man. Look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but we'll get to them in a minute. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let's roll. Denver Broncos, they head to Detroit to take on the Lions. The Lions are -5. It's the Saturday night game.
Wow.
I'm going in the door to tell you guys straight up and down, this is my best bet of the week. This is my best bet of the week. I'm taking the Broncos here, man. I am. Look, I told you guys last week how much I've been on the Detroit hype train all year and how I was jumping off because their defense has definitely been suspect the last couple weeks. And I told you guys on my best bet that the Chicago Bears was going to blast this team. And that's exactly what happened. The shine is coming off. The shine is coming off, man. And now I'm starting to be a little concerned about how good the Detroit Lions really are. Now, the Denver Broncos are surging here. Even in their losses, they have come close, man. They could easily be on like a 7-8 game win streak here. Sean Payton's got them galvanized. They're playing well. Russ is looking like the old Russ. 5 points is too much here, man. That Detroit secondary scares nobody. Anytime touchdown, Cortland Sutton, put it down in pen. I'm telling you, this is an indoor game. They've gotten away from what they do best, and that's running the ball. Running the ball. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, they forgot how they were winning, and they have relied on Goff much too much. And when you have to rely on Goff this much, he turns the ball over, and that's what you've seen happen. Conversely, Denver's defense is really good. I know they gave up a 70 burger in Miami. Dude, that was like 10 seasons ago. They are back and they are hungry. Surtain is one of the top 3 cover corners in this league. Justin Simmons is as good as anybody. They are going to have to find ways to get Amon-Ra St. Brown the ball. And Sam Laporta has to be a big factor in this game for the Lions to even win the game. Forget covering. To even win the game. Because I think that Javonte Williams is going to run wild today. I'm taking Denver plus the 5. I'm taking them with confidence. I think that Denver realizes what is happening in the AFC West now. They actually have a shot to win this division. Will it happen? No, because Kansas City plays tomato cans the rest of the way. But they'll come close, man. Denver could make the playoffs. They're going to finish better than the Chargers. They're going to finish better than the Raiders. And they arguably have one of the best defenses in the AFC. People just don't want to give them the respect they deserve because they started off so slow. They got a Super Bowl winning head coach. I told you about the Denver Broncos when they went into Buffalo and won that game. I told you about the Denver Broncos last week when they went into LA and won that game. Guys, it's time to start recognizing them as being a real threat. And I cannot take the Lions at home. I watched them shit the bed versus the Green Bay Packers. They lose these kind of games. This is going to be a very entertaining game, but plus 5 to me sounds like house money, man. It's steak and lobster all day as long as they get the ground game going in Denver. Take the 5 and be happy you did.
I love this as the first leg of our teaser. The Denver Broncos plus 11, or it would be what, plus 10?
Plus
or
10.
No, yeah, plus 11 because
plus,
you get the 6 points.
You'll get the 6.
That's crazy. I mean, I like that. You
I'll
like it as
that.
plus 5, so yeah, I like that as the first leg. I mean, Denver could win this game. I mean, they're playing really good football right now. I knew they lost to the Texans not that long ago, but the Texans obviously are a pretty decent football team, man. They beat up on the Chargers last week. Who doesn't? And they just had some pretty good victories recently, and they just seem to stick into games as well, like more than anything. And yeah, the Lions just are not moving me right now. And this is like the Lions team that we kind of have seen for all of history. You know what I mean? I mean, this is like what they do.
Really early.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. I mean, in Denver is kind of the opposite. I mean, these two teams are going in the opposite directions, I feel like. I think the 70-point game was a wake-up call for the Denver Broncos, and they just haven't looked like the same football team since. And that tends to happen, when you get your doors blown out by 70 points. I mean, that's an unreal amount of points. And, Detroit is at home, but I don't know, man. I just don't. This team doesn't play consistent enough for me. And I think Denver is just not one of those teams that's just going to lay down, in Detroit. It just doesn't feel like that. It just feels like they have other things in mind. I mean, they know how close they are to, maybe getting to the top of the division of the AFC West. This game means a lot to them. So, yeah, I'm going to take Denver. I would also just take them plus 5. I mean, I don't see a world where the Detroit Lions blow them out of the water. So that would just be crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't see it either. The Denver Broncos are a solid defensive unit. They can run the ball. The only caveat that I'm really worried about here is that they can give up big yards on the ground. So I really think that coach is going to have to really unleash David Montgomery, who I think will have a big game, and Jahmyr Gibbs. They're going to have to run the ball a lot and protect Goff here. We're going to kind of revert back to the old lines where we hide Goff a little bit and only ask him to maybe throw 15, 20 passes to win the game, because otherwise Denver's winning this game outright. I have spoken. Next. Tomorrow morning, the Kansas City Chiefs, they head to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. I said this a couple months ago that I thought Bill Belichick may not survive the season. It's a good chance that he will not now. Yeah. The rumors are really coming out that Robert Kraft is looking to move on, and I think it's the right decision, quite frankly. I think Bill Belichick will be the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers next year. You can put all these things down, man. Sometimes the writing is on the wall, and it's not a forgery, and I believe that this is what's going to happen. In the interim, in comes the Kansas City Chiefs. I was at the game last week. I will give, I'll give the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt here. I look, when you have no expectations, you have no letdowns. I mean, as a Chief fan that was at the game, I picked the Bills, and whether there's a controversial call or not, whatever you want to call it, they lost the game, and I really wasn't that upset about it, and I really wasn't that surprised. Dude, you have to face facts about who your team is. This is why I like you, Spencer, because you face facts about what the Raiders are. We don't have these delusions of grandeur. it's very difficult to win a playoff game, more or less a Super Bowl, and the Chiefs just don't have it this year. Now, they play 4 games left versus 4 backup quarterbacks, and they start here with the Bailey Zappies of the world, who looked really good on the road versus the Steelers. I'm going to take an angry Chiefs team -8. I think Mahomes and Reed know they embarrassed themselves nationally. It was very uncharacteristic, whether it was justified or not. I think the Chiefs are realizing that, look, the shine is off. It's not coming off. It's off. And now it's like, let's play for pride and see what we can salvage of this season. Maybe a 5 seed and get on the road, and pull and pray. I just don't think that, even with Demario Douglas coming back from a concussion, Ezekiel Elliott, and a questionable Juju Smith-Schuster, that Bailey Zappi and this Belichick-led defensive unit can stop Kansas City. I know 8 is a lot, especially when you consider that Kansas City could barely score 20 points. And Isaiah Pacheco was out again. He had a cleanup procedure on his shoulder. So now we're really looking like, how could you not take the Patriots here? But I don't think you can, because I just don't think they could score enough. I think what you saw last week was an anomaly. I don't see it happening again, even in their building. I mean, they're a 3-win team for a reason. You know what I mean? I mean, the Chiefs are playing poorly, but they're beating themselves. They're not scrubs, and I cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes. I know he's having a down year. I just cannot do it versus a team that can't score anywhere. So I'm going to take the Chiefs, and I'm going to lay the 8 points. And like last week, I'm going to pull and pray. But I tell you what, they lose this game to the Patriots, I've worn my gear for the last time this year.
Yeah, I mean, that would be something else. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I like Kansas City here, and New England's just a really bad football team. And I think the 8 points is more indicative of just kind of what they did last week. Give them a few courtesy points. I would think this game would be closer to 10. I mean, if Kansas City gets the ball rolling, they're up 14-0. I mean, the game's virtually over. I can't see, a pass-heavy offense of New England just going down the field, making this game close. So, I mean, there's not really much to this game. It's a bad football team. It's kind of a bounce-back game for the Chiefs. They desperately need one after, some pretty bad performances recently. So, yeah, give me the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust CEH anywhere, but the defense should be getting healthier. They got Nick Bolton back. Let's see if Drew Tranquil plays. I mean, it is what it is, man. It's been a long time since there's been this kind of dissension in Kansas City, but real fans know, like, there's a couple things in this world I definitely trust, and one of them is my eyes. You know what I mean? If I see a car coming at me full throttle, I know that I need to stop. You know what I mean? I know when the light turns green, and I know what I see when I watch the Chiefs. It's not looking good, but I still can't. I can't see the Patriots covering this 8. Chiefs should assert their will, so to speak, versus a Bailey Zappi-led football team. Next, the Jets, they head to Miami, take on the Dolphins. Another AFC East matchup. Dolphins -8.5. This is the Tyreek Hill game. Will he play? Will he not play? The high ankle sprain last week versus the Titans forced him out. He comes back in. He goes back out. Look, that ankle is hurting. That ankle's been hurting all year, though. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? If you watch Tyreek Hill like I watch him, because he's a fantasy stud on one of my teams, he hasn't been right for a couple weeks. But he's Tyreek Hill. Now, he hasn't practiced all week, but he's going to play, folks. Don't fool yourself. He is playing. Why? Because Tyreek Hill is in the running for the MVP. Now they'll jerk him and never give it to him, but he's also in the running. He wants that 2,000 yards, man. Tyreek Hill wants 2K. And I'm telling you, if Tyreek Hill gets 2K, I don't see how they could give this to anyone else. Give it to Brock Purdy would be an absolute joke over Tyreek Hill. I'm sorry. Dak Prescott, too. Tyreek Hill is your MVP if he hits that number. And so he's gonna go out there. They got good staff. They're gonna treat that ankle all week long. And they're going to heavily tape it and send him out there with a shot and see what happens. So he still won't be 100%. And so I'm going to take the Jets here. Zach Wilson did play a whole lot better. The last time these two teams played, Miami blew them out. And I think that the Jets are playing galvanized football. I bet against them last week at home, and they threw up 30 points. I think Zach Wilson could ask for his outright release, which is what I would do. Or he can go out there and ball out and get his trade value up, because they're trading him. Okay, it's happening. He is not going to be a Jet next year, and so he wants to showcase what he can do. And he's got decent weapons. And so I think when you have a gimpy Tyreek, that's more than enough for 8.5. We both laid 13 on Miami versus Tennessee, and they lost the game outright with Tyreek. So the shine on the Dolphins is coming off a little bit too. I don't think you can blow a team up twice in 3 weeks. And so I'm going to take the Jets here. Jets defense is still pretty good. If Tyreek doesn't go, Jets are an absolute lock to cover that 8.5. I could see them even winning the game. There's supposed to be wind out there that's popping off. Tua has been on again, off again. I think the Jets are a really, really good bet here, plus the 8.5, and the OU is low. It's only 36.5, which means they're not expecting a ton of points here. Take the Jets with confidence, which is something I would rarely say, but in an AFC division matchup here, I like them a lot with a gimpy Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Miami needs to be careful in this game because, man, Tua's got good ball placement. Like, that's one thing I can say about him, but everything else, like, after that is just shaky, man. Like, he's not a top 5. He's not a top 10 quarterback.
He peaked too early as well.
Oh, it's just he makes bad decisions sometimes. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have, like, exactly a great zip on the ball. Like I said, he's got his best trait is that he's got really good ball placement. He can fit it into some tight windows. He's got good angling and everything. But there are times where I'm like, ooh, he just looks rough, and he just gets covered up because he has some insane weapons around him. I mean, don't think that Miami wouldn't take a trade for like a superstar trade if the opportunity presented itself. I do not think that their loyalties lay that hard with Tua. I think they would look for a better opportunity at any moment in any part of the season. So, I think they really wanted like Tom Brady and stuff like that, and I think they would have taken him off to the side if the opportunity.
Wasn't there something that was rumored to have already been in place for Brady, but something fell apart? I remember. I mean,
Brady to Miami was a huge rumor for a long time there. Yeah. But in this game again, it's another division rival. I don't know. I mean, I guess I have a little bit of recency bias, watching that Titans game, but I don't think so, man. Especially if Tyreek Hill doesn't play, this New York Jets team might eat Tua up. I could, and they looked, they scored some points last week.
Scored 30 points versus a decent Texan defense. I was shocked.
This line doesn't make sense to me for some reason. I mean, I like the Jets here.
I like the Jets big in this game. I think that they have a lot going for him here. I think Zach Wilson is going to play really hard to showcase his talents because they know they don't want him. So he wants to go to someone who's going to want him. We talk about this all the time, Spencer. It's like when you go to Costco and they have all the little stuff out there for you to try, they're showcasing that product. They want you to try it. You taste it. Oh, wow, this is good. How much is that? Next thing you know, it's in your shopping cart. That's Zach Wilson right now. He's like, look, guys, this is who I am. It just hasn't worked out here. But if you give me a shot, I can do something for your team. And if you get the Zach Wilson that played versus Kansas City, if you get the Zach Wilson that won last week versus Houston, you've got yourself a franchise quarterback. I just think he has been failed, and I think he's immature and young. I'm not saying he's good, but in the right system, maybe he could be. He's not going to be on the Jets. I think 8.5 is too much here. Next, the Bears. Loving the Bears right now, man. Bears shined me up and made me look really good last week.
Yeah.
They're flying to the dog pound to take on the Brownies, who are -3. Browns made us look good last week. I had a nice week last week, man. I took some ones I didn't think I would hit, and they came true. I'm going to take the Browns here. They resuscitated old man Flacco, so now he's off life support. He's actually a human being walking around the earth again and throwing passes. And I mean, practice squad to sign to the, full 52 is a regular thing right now, and they're going to continue to do it because it's somewhat been working. And I just don't think the Bears are good enough to win back-to-back games. I do like Justin Fields a lot, but the Browns' defense is elite. Elite. They are the best of the best in my mind. I think Myles Garrett is as good as they come. The guy was created in a lab. You ever look at that guy's body? My God, dude. If he was a bouncer at a bar, I'd never go to that bar. Like, I just wouldn't even chance it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd get drunk and do something stupid and get killed by this guy. He's just a mammoth. And I think it's going to be too much for them. I think that they'll be ready for the Cole Kmets and, the Deonta Foreman's. The Bears looked good last week, but like we said, you're going against a regressing Lions defense at home. I just don't think they'll be able to put up the same kind of effort here versus the Browns. Jerome Ford's been really good. Njoku's been coming on. Amari Cooper does what he does, and it'll just be enough. I think I see a defensive score in this game. I like the Browns here. I don't love them, but I like them. I would love the under a lot. 37.5. These are two teams that are going to go back and forth, and I don't think they're going to be scoring a ton of points. But I'm going to take the Browns, and I'm going to take them with a decent amount of confidence here. When was the last time the Bears won 2 games in a row?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people on the Bears because they've been playing better football as of recent, for sure. I mean,
they're trying to win.
Better. Yeah. But I think the Browns they're on a pretty decent run right now. And I think Joe Flacco, I mean, you got to give the guy credit. At 37 years old, he looks pretty good. I mean,
Lazarus, he's 38.
There's not dinking and dunking either. I mean, he's got touchdown passes of like 20, 25, 30. Yeah. It's like he's throwing it downfield. And
old man
I think
Flacco,
that's really
dude.
all that Cleveland needs. I mean, like you said, their defense is unreal. I mean, it's very steady. They've had a couple of weeks, I think, where they've given up a lot of points, but that's the National Football League. Sometimes those things happen, but they've been consistent over the course of an entire season, and that's one of the most difficult things you can ever do as a defense. I think that they're going to be able to get a few turnovers on Justin Fields. I mean, I know the Justin Fields, stock is kind of at an all-time high right now, but I think he may come back down to earth a little bit and remind people, why Chicago is leaning towards, getting rid of him and going with Caleb Williams, which is what they're going to do. So I think that's what's going to happen on Sunday. So give me the Browns.
Yeah, I like the Browns a lot here too. Next, the walking wounded Houston Texans, they head to Tennessee to take on the touchdown Titans, who just upset the Miami Dolphins and are feeling good. This is kind of what I like to call the Titans' last stand, of Derrick Henry being elite. We're kind of going to move into the new era of Will Levis football. I don't see Derrick Henry being on the Titans next year. Chiggy Okonkwo's coming on. There's a lot of new names. Treylon Burks is just, Ryan Tannehill will be gone. There's just a lot of newness to what's going to be happening in Tennessee, and it's going to carry over into next year, and a lot of these veterans are going to be gone. Conversely, the Houston Texans are just banged up, man. They are so banged up, it's not even funny. They get Dalton Schultz back, but Tank Dell, may he rest in peace, is gone. Nico Collins is very questionable. I saw a report that he was out tomorrow. I saw another report that he was highly questionable. I don't think he plays, which leaves you Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz. And CJ Stroud is concussed and has been ruled out. If it's like Voltron. If you kill the head, what do you have left? If you chop off Medusa's head, what do you have left? I mean, no CJ Stroud is no wins on the road. Davis Mills, Case Keenum, they're leaning toward Keenum. I don't think it matters. I think that while the Tennessee defense is not great, those two quarterbacks scare nobody. And I don't think they have the ancillary pieces. That Dameon Pierce has been bust of the year running the ball as far as I'm concerned. There's been no worse running back coming. I mean, you want to talk about a sophomore slump. There it is. And Devin Singletary, while having some decent games, is small, 5'7", 190, maybe 185, 175. I mean, the Titans are going to be ready for this game after beating a very upstart, legitimate AFC powerhouse in the Miami Dolphins, and they're home. I'm going to lay that 3 points with confidence because the walking wounded are just that. I like Tennessee a lot here. I just don't see how Houston is going to be able to do much with two bum quarterbacks and not a lot of their pieces DeMeco Ryans has overachieved all year. I think that train stops on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, man. This isn't a full-power Texans team. Rookie gets a concussion, which is kind of unfortunate. It kind of would have been cool to see Will Levis, who, I have to give credit to him. I mean, I thought the guy would stink like rotten eggs, and he doesn't.
Me too.
It's too far into the season now to say that the guy is not good. I mean, he's put together some great games, and he's going to get himself killed if he doesn't, stop chucking his head at players. And I know you like to see rookies play hard like that, but he should take a page out of Anthony Richardson's book, man. I mean, Anthony Richardson did the same thing, and it got him out for the season quick.
Mm-hmm. What Levis needs to do? He needs to study Big Ben the entire offseason. Just look at Big Ben from his first pass to his last pass. Because when I look at Will Levis, I see Big Ben. That's what I see.
Yeah, and you know what? And Will Levis is way more equipped to kind of play rougher than Anthony Richardson just because he's a bigger dude. I mean, he's like prototypical quarterback. You know, like Anthony Richardson's like a small guy, and his just flinging himself all over the field, it's going to shorten his career. I mean, you're not going to last long doing that. But yeah, this is a game I'm going to put to Tennessee. They're at home. It's a division game, so you never really know what's going to happen here. So I think it'll be a good game, but I'm leaning towards Tennessee. I mean, they're on the more full team right now, and they're playing well. They're playing good football.
Yeah, they are. They're playing really well right now, and I think at home they should dominate this game. I don't even think it should be really in question. Next, the New York Football Giants and Tommy Cutlet, they head to Who Dat Nation, Mercedes-Benz Dome, and the Saints. Saints are -5.5. I'm going to tell you, going in the door, I took the Giants last week on a whim, and everything I said about them came to fruition, and I'm going to take the Giants again here. I am. 5.5 is too much versus a very inconsistent Saints team. I saw an interview where Kamara was being questioned about the team, and he was like, well, we're just inconsistently consistent. And we're consistently inconsistent. And you can write that down in pen. He was pissed. And it's true. They're just inconsistent. They have flashes. And when you have flashes, I don't care. They play better at home for sure. But the Giants have shown you something. Tommy Cutlet is a real thing, man. Tommy Cutlet is a real thing. The Giants have won 3 in a row, I believe. They're getting Darren Waller back this week. They have been starting to get these ancillary pieces, on the wide receiver core going. Saquon Barkley is good for 2 touchdowns every single week, and their defense has been playing better. I mean, go look at Kayvon Thibodeau's numbers. I mean, they're playing okay, man. They're playing good enough to cover. It wouldn't shock me if they even won this game, man. Any Derek Carr team led, can always blow it at the end because we already know what he is and we know what he isn't. Conversely, guys like Alvin Kamara should do well, but I mean, Chris Olave, is he going to play? Chris Olave has a concussion every week, man. I mean, they're so injured. Taysom Hill will play, but these guys are all banged up. Literally, their whole team, man, they have taken some major injuries this year, and their defense just hasn't been as good as I thought they would be. Cam Jordan is still good, but Honey Badger's a shell of his former self. I could see the Giants easily staying in this game, and so I'm taking them. And I'm taking them with confidence, believe it or not, man. The Saints just don't galvanize me. They don't inspire me at all. What have they done this year to do anything? Rashid Shaheed in and out of the lineup. Juwan Johnson has been a humongous tight end bust this year when there was so much shine on him coming into this season. The Giants are an absolute lock here. I mean, I know they beat up on the Carolina Panthers, but the Giants are better than the Panthers here, and I think that the Saints could take them lightly. They're 2 teams going in different directions, man. You know what I mean? And I just feel like the mafia mentality of this Tommy Cutlet thing is real, man. You know what I mean? It's real. It's kind of like Linsanity. It's taking over New York, and I think it carries over this week. Take the Giants in the 5.5 with confidence. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one. This is one of those games that it's hard to get a read on. I feel like anything can happen on Sunday when these 2 teams face off. But I just want to say that I'm so thankful that Derek Carr's not the quarterback of the Raiders, man. I hear him talk on the podium. He hears the crowd booing, and he tells us he's like talking to his son about adversity or something. It's just everything he says is so corny, man, and it bothers me, and I just hated hearing him saying that kind of stuff every week. Can't you be mad that you lost? Can't you be mad that you play in a division with Baker Mayfield, Desmond Ridder, and Bryce Young, and you can't take control of that division? Shouldn't that upset you? But it just doesn't, man. He's just a different kind of guy, and it rubs me the wrong way, especially in
rubs
football.
Me the wrong way too, man.
Yeah, and it rubs everybody in New Orleans wrong. I mean, they hate this guy already, but that's what they were getting. I mean, I don't really know what they expected when they got him. I mean, he's the exact same as he has been for the past 3 years. This is what
he will always be that guy.
Yeah, God, you just have to take the Giants here. I'm not going to take them with confidence, but I think you just kind of have to. I haven't seen New Orleans put a good performance up against someone not named the Panthers in a long, long time.
Long time. I mean, it's so bad. You know what I mean? Long time. I think we're both in agreement here, man. Giants should definitely cover that 5.5, and I think they should do it with ease. Next, upset special. Atlanta Falcons, they head to Carolina to take on the Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to win this game. I do. Desmond Ritter is such butt cheeks, it's not even funny. And I mean, this guy will definitely be a backup quarterback or out of the league within the next 12 months. The fact that this guy's a starting quarterback in the National Football League is absolutely horrendous. I would put Taylor Heineke back in there. Desmond Ritter is buns. He's a turnover machine. Are the Panthers really going to only win one game? I mean, no. I just can't see them only winning one game. I don't know how they win this game, but their defense is fairly stout. I would just stack the box. Stack the box, double Pitts, and pray for Drake London's downfall. I don't know. Somehow I think that they're going to win this game, man. I really do. But even if they don't win the game, I don't think they're going to lose the game by more than 3 points. And I know the Falcons beat up on the Jets. They've had some other nice wins this year, but they're a middling 500 team and nothing more than that. And I can't tell you the last time I saw them put two great performances together in a row. I just don't see it. I smell a trap here. This is like the trap door falls closed behind you and you can't get out. And there's a manhole in the middle of the street waiting for you to like look at your cell phone and just fall in and break your legs. Everyone's going to take the Falcons here. I can hear it in my head already. The Carolina Panthers are horrible. How could you take them? All they got to do is kick a young wave coup field goal and they'll cover this. Nah, dude. Nah. I trust a fart after Mexican food and a 12-pack of beer more than I trust Desmond Ritter. And I just cannot take Arthur Smith and what they're putting down. Anything happens to one of their skilled players, Kyle Pitts or Drake London, and the Panthers will win this game going away. Chuba Hubbard is better than people think. They're in their building. Adam Thielen, Jonathan Mingo. They just have to get more production out of Bryce Young, but they don't give him nothing to work with. But somehow, some way, pick six, J.C. Horn, something's going to happen. And I'm telling you, I think that the Carolina Panthers win this game outright. And I'm going to say that with my chest.
Yeah. I mean, I could just see this easily being a push, too. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a boatload of points in this game. That would be really surprising to me. What's the over-under on this?
33.5.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I smell a second leg of our teaser here.
Yeah, I mean, I like teasing the under here. Can both of these teams score 20 points on each other? I doubt it. I mean, it's not like the Falcons give up a bunch of points every week either. I mean, I know they did last week, but oh man, I guess they kind of do. That's tough, man. It's a division game, and you know, the Panthers do have a good defense. I mean, that's undeniable. I mean, they got a good defensive squad. They just can't move the ball down the field for a second, man. It's so frustrating watching them play. I always talk about it. Looks like they're moving in peanut butter or something, where everybody's got bricks, you know, chained to their ankles or something like that. It's so weird.
If they went any slower, they'd be going backwards. If I'm Bryce Young, I'm just taking off on every play. Play breaks down, I'm running. I'm just going to run. I mean, at this point, what have you got to lose? You ain't moving the ball any other kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll take the Panthers here, but man, I don't know. This game is just weird. I hate betting on bad teams. You know what I mean? Tease
that under, folks. I'm telling you.
I'm putting that in my back pocket. Maybe. I'm thinking maybe on that one.
I'm signing up for that under, getting the tease down. 33.5, dropping that down at 28.5. That's house money, man. Next. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they head to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. Packers minus 3.5, like you said last week. Like I said last week, I don't like the Buccaneers at home, but I'm telling you, on the road, they are a valuable soldier, man, and they keep coming through. My tickets, man, they always have the Buccaneers on the road on them, and they always hit. And I'm telling you right now, I don't care how bad their secondary is. They don't really throw the ball in Green Bay unless they absolutely have to, okay? Now Christian Watson is out. That guy is hurt more than anybody. Joe Biden is healthier than Christian Watson, so get him out of there. Now you're relying on Jaden Reed, first-year rookie, Romeo Doubs, second-year player. Will they get Aaron Jones back? It's anyone's guess. They're banged up bad, both running backs. A.J. Dillon banged up as well. I mean, they're going to have to play a great game. Jair Alexander hasn't been healthy all year. I mean, Jair Alexander hasn't been healthy since college. I mean, this is begging you to lay that 3.5 because the Packers are home and they're coming off a loss to a bad team, and Jordan Love has been great. I could easily see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this game on the road. I mean, Mike Evans had a very bad game last week. He had one catch. They're making up for that this week, man. Now, Godwin is on again, off again, but I just think they have enough because Rachaad White has played really, really well. And you can run the ball all over the Packers. They give up ground yards. They give up ground TDs like it's going out of style. Their run defense is a bottom 5, bottom 3 run defense in this league. And if you take the Packers just because of the things I mentioned earlier, the bounce back here, I think you're a sucker. I could see them winning this game by 3 points, and that hook will kill you. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay, and I'm going to take Tampa Bay with confidence, man. They're valuable, bro. On the road, they cover, and they win a lot of these games, and I see this as being one of them. I'm not sold on Jordan Love yet. I'm just not, man. And if you can go into MetLife Stadium in front of the whole world and lay an egg versus that Giants and Tommy Cutlet, you can do it here versus Baker Mayfield, who is not a scared quarterback, and he's full of piss and vinegar. Give me the Buccaneers in those 3.5 and go eat a steak and lobster dinner afterward.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me is Baker Mayfield in cold weather games. These kind of quarterbacks like Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield just seem to hate cold weather. But I don't know, man. Green Bay is such a hard team to read. I mean, you just do not know how they're going to play on any given week. They look like a completely different football team in different parts. And I know they're really good in December, but yeah, they finally did get that first loss in December under their head coach. I'm going to take Tampa Bay just because they're on the road, like you said. And just in my back of my mind, I have a gut feeling that Baker Mayfield's just going to put up just like one of those stinkers where you're just like, dude, can you throw the ball, please? And he just cannot get it on target. It just feels like it's going to be one of those games. But yeah, I mean, I'm just not going to take Green Bay. Like, not right now. I got to see them play consistently. And this just seems like the perfect game for Tampa Bay. They're on the road against a struggling team. I mean, this is where they rack up their wins and kind of stay in the hunt, for the division.
Yeah, they stay somewhat relevant. To me, Tampa Bay is every bit as good as the Saints, and everyone thinks the Saints are this great team. You know what I mean? I could easily see them cover this. They're one of my best bets. They're a valuable soldier on my ticket this week for sure. Next, the San Francisco 49ers are minus 12. Afternoon game starts off here. They're going to go to State Farm Stadium and take on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm taking the Cardinals plus the 12. Last week, we talked about the Niners, playing Seattle, and, I flip-flopped on that until I finally settled on Seattle plus 13, and that just came through. And in another division game, I think something similar is going to happen here. Look, the Niners are a very, very good team. There's no disputing this. I think the Niners are going to the Super Bowl. There's no disputing this either. But I think Brock Purdy is not as good as people think because he has the best supporting cast in the world. And he throws 5-yard passes that go 80 yards. That's not an MVP to me, okay? And I watched this same Cardinal team take the Cowboys, who are also in the Super Bowl running, out in convincing fashion. And they were missing a lot of players, and that was without Kyler Murray. I think they play really hard here. I don't think they win, but I think they cover this 12. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that speaks to they are definitely going to have a shot at even coming close to it. But every time I have a feeling about the Cardinals, I'm going to bet them. And the last couple of times I've done that, they've covered. I can hear it in my head already. Everyone's like, there's no way the Cardinals will cover this. This is 31-13 San Francisco. Debo will go crazy. Kittle's going to eat. No one can stop McCaffrey. I see all those things as being true, so don't get me wrong. However, Trey McBride is very, very good. Kyler Murray is very, very good. James Conner has had huge games. He just beat the Steelers on the road in another game that you and I felt good about and took that cashed. I'm going to take them here at home, man. Home dogs pay dividends. If you're scared, throw it on a teaser pool. I think that's too many points, man, for a division game. These division games cash as underdogs at home. They just do. Now, would it surprise me if the Niners go 31-13 versus team? No. But sometimes in order to win money, you have to have balls. And that's what World of Matchup has. I got balls of steel, man. My money, your money. If I feel it, I'll lay it. Because scared money don't make money. I just picked up the Raiders defense and started them in fantasy the other day. I mean, that's 30 points. The Raiders defense, dude, you must take chances to cash out big in life. All the most successful people in this world do. All the most successful handicappers do. Arizona plus 12 is the play.
I like taking the. I mean, I would put this on the second leg of the tease. I just cannot imagine San Francisco doesn't blow. Like, you get 6 points. I just
the
really
backdoor
like
kings of the NFL are the Arizona Cardinals. They're the backdoor
kings.
Think?
I think San Francisco wins this game by at least 7. I mean, that would just be crazy. Arizona has gotten their doors blown off multiple times.
7's not 12. 7's not 12, yeah. Spencer.
So I like the tease for the 49ers in this game, but yeah, I mean, that does seem like a lot. Arizona, oh man, I don't know. Dude, this is a tough game to read. I hate division games, and I generally do stay away from them. Like Seattle was in this game for so long, but it could just happen so fast. You know what I mean? With the 49ers, it's just like in the blink of an eye, like suddenly, boom, right there. They're up by 13 points, and you don't even know what happened. They've been pushing the ball downfield, and they're
Cardinals are going to attack the San Francisco secondary, which is their weakness. The secondary is their weakness. I'm telling you right now, take all Trey McBride's overs in a bad matchup, guys. I'm telling you. Guys, listen to me on this. Listen to hear what I'm saying. The middle of the field is the weakness for the San Francisco defense, and what do tight ends do? They are going to cover this 12.
And he's having a great season, man. I'll take the Cardinals with you, but not with a ton of confidence in this one.
Sounds good. Let's roll. Washington Commanders head to L.A. Rams minus 6.5. I have zero faith in the Commanders. I have even less faith in them on the road. I'm not going to waste too much time on this. Puka, Kyron, Matt Stafford. They're going to win this game by 10 points. It's just that simple. The Washington Commanders have given up.
This has got to be on one of the legs.
I like this as the best bet as well.
You get a half point. All you need the Rams to do. There's no way. I mean, Washington is so bad. I mean, their secondary is terrible.
They're bad.
And the Rams are playing good football right now. Their offense is clicking.
Yes, you called it last week when I thought that they were going to not cover the game. They should have won the game versus the Ravens, if we're being honest. I was at the Bud Light, party at Kansas City watching that game, and they should have won that game. I thought they were going to do the AFC a favor and take down the Ravens. They were in the game. They're going to come back to SoFi. They're going to win this game going away. Sam Howell's got nothing going on. I mean, Brian Robinson is out. Antonio Gibson scares nobody. He's been nothing for 3 years. That defense is Swiss cheese. Puka, Cooper Kupp, they eat like Thanksgiving. This should be a resounding 10-point win, no problem for the Rams, who are at home and comfortable as long as they keep Matthew Stafford upright, which they should have no problem doing because Washington traded away all their pass rush help. I mean, this is an absolute lock. This is a lock of the highest order. How this wasn't my best bet is beyond me. I must have overlooked it, but I feel really strongly about the Rams steamrolling this team. It's 50.5. Yes, there'll be points in this game. I could even tease this down as a lock, part of our 3-leg as well.
Yeah, I like this. As well. This has got to be the second leg.
I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Let's go ahead and tease this down. There's going to be points in this game, but I think Aaron Donald meets Sam Howell, and this game is going to be over before it gets started. Next, Dallas Cowboys head to the Buffalo Bills. Bills minus 2.5. I watched the entire Bills game from the stands last week, and I will tell you this. This is not a team that has given up. This is not a team that has given up. They played really hard. Really hard, man. And even throughout the dissension of Stephon Diggs and, Von Miller, like, they put the noise to bed and they handled their business. Did they get a gift? You could say that. Maybe, maybe not. To me, it was the right call. It would have been an amazing win for Kansas City and an atrocious loss for Buffalo. But bottom line is it was the right call. So Buffalo gets healthy there and wins. Now they head home to take on a surging Dallas Cowboys team, surging with Dak Prescott, leading the MVP candidates in their back pocket, and they look ready to mob, bro. They really, really do. The Cowboys look ready to take that next step. McCarthy is pushing all the right buttons. CeeDee Lamb, like I said, man, there's no blade of grass that is safe from CeeDee Lamb. Ferguson, they got it all right now. However, I am taking Buffalo Bills here. I am, man. There is something to be said about momentum, and I think this is a trap game for the Cowboys. Josh Allen is a man possessed. He is a turnover machine, yes. But if you get the good Josh Allen, they're very difficult to stop. And it's been a long time since they have had a win in their building of note. Something to give their fans at home to cheer about, because they've had some bad losses. They should have lost to the Giants. They should have lost to Tampa. They covered both those games on some BS nonsense calls. We all know that. They haven't played well. The Cincinnati game last year, they don't play well at home. They play well on the road, though. But something tells me that everyone's going to be on Dallas here. And home dogs, they're not home dogs, but they're favorites. But they're 2.5 favorites, which means a Tyler Bass field goal wins money for you. And I like that here. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop Josh Allen. I just don't think they can, man. Josh Allen is a tale of two quarterbacks. If he's a quarterback that they let run, you could forget that 2.5. Cowboy fans, you're going to eat your lunch there. If they try to make him this pocket passer and make him throw all the time because they can't run the ball, he's going to turn the ball over. But I have a funny feeling that it's going to be the former rather than the latter. Micah Hyde is out, so that's kind of scary in the secondary, but I just think everyone is going to be on the Cowboys here. Everyone is going to think the Cowboys are going to just roll this team. I don't think so, man. Even with, Hyde out and Epinesa out, I'm going to take the Bills minus a 2.5, and I'm going to take them with confidence simply because they're home, and I know no one else is going to believe it. And when everyone wants to go one way, I'll swing the other way, man. I'll walk in a room of people who disagree with me by the thousands, and I'll stand on business. And I've always been that way, and I'm going to be that way here. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. Buffalo's the play.
Yeah, they're not at home. It's so hard not to take them. The Cowboys, when they play at home, they haven't lost in forever at home. So it's pretty easy pick. But they are in Buffalo. It's cold weather. They're not in their cozy little dome. Tough game. This in my opinion, this should be the Sunday night game. It seems like a great game, but yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo here. I think Dallas is due for a little bit of a rough game. Dak Prescott, maybe he throws a couple bad passes. I just could see it happening because you're right. I do feel like everybody in the world is going to be on Dallas, especially
the whole world
when they come to picking these games. I feel like all the analysts are going to go, Dallas, and a close game. Yeah, I just think Buffalo is going to play really hard at home. I think this is like their opportunity to really get some momentum going that they haven't had in a long time. But we'll see. But yeah, I like Buffalo here. I like
Dallas doesn't beat teams with winning records, and they don't beat teams with winning records on the road. There's 2.5 for a reason, folks. These odds makers, they have crystal balls, man. It's 2.5 for a reason. Buffalo is coming in hot. They know that they got a chance to make the playoffs still, and they've had a horrendous year. This is it. This is Sean McDermott's last stand. This is a statement game for Josh Allen. He puts up points. There's no denying it, folks. He's RoboCop. There's no denying it. His one downfall is he turns the ball over. If they play clean football and get James Cook involved like they have been recently, this game is going to be over. And they're going to cover that 2.5. I'm telling you. I got a good feeling about Buffalo tomorrow. Next, Sunday Night Football, Ravens at the Jags. I don't know why this is the Sunday night game. I really don't. But whatever. Ravens are minus 3.5. Somehow the same people that worked on Joe Flacco worked on Trevor Lawrence's ankle, and he's still playing. But he's all kind of banged up. Christian Kirk, his nuts fell out, and he's done for the year. Calvin Ridley's been very Zay Jones has been even more but something tells me that they're going to cover the 3.5. I don't trust the Ravens. I don't trust them at all. I don't trust them away from Baltimore either. And 3.5 is a lot. This is going to be – what I really like in this game? I really like the under in this game, Spencer. You know what I mean? I really
What's
do.
that right
I
now?
think that 42.5. I think
Ooh.
that these defenses are going to really go at it hard. I think Jacksonville's going to play very difficult. Jacksonville's not out of the hunt yet. Are they injured? Yes. But they're not out of it yet, man. They've had a good year. Trevor Lawrence just hasn't been him. I thought he'd be him this year. You know what I mean? Brock Purdy is him. Dak Prescott is him. Trevor Lawrence is not him this year. You know, he signed up for him University at the end of last year and then didn't attend this year. That's who Trevor Lawrence is. And so while I think that they have not been great, and the loss of Christian Kirk is so huge, I'm going to take the 3.5 at home simply because I think they're going to have something to prove to the whole world under a national spotlight. They can run the ball. Travis Etienne and D'Ernest Johnson play well. They're going to pepper Evan Ingram with targets to make up for the whole Christian Kirk thing. I think they win this game going away, but if they lose, they ain't losing by 3.5. Duval.
I don't know, man. I like Baltimore here. I'm just not a big fan of the Jaguars. I just don't think they're a particularly good football team. They just have some games where you're just like, what team is this? You know, they're just not serious. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like when it's time to actually get a nice quality win over someone like the Ravens, they're just going to fall short. I don't know. I mean, Baltimore is kind of iffy sometimes too. I mean, they just always seem like they're on the edge and where they're at too. This is a tough game to call, but I'm going to take the Ravens. I just trust them a lot more than the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know what you're going to get out of this game. I kind of like teasing the over, but I don't know. I just want to stay clear away from this game. It's very weird. It's just two teams that you're not sure how serious they are.
Yeah, they're kind of, when you need them really badly, neither one of them ever show up. But I'm going to take Jags at home, and we'll see what happens. Pull and pray. They got to do a better job of these Sunday night games. I don't like this as a Sunday night game at all. No one on this earth can tell me Cowboys-Bills would not be a better Sunday night football game. Next, Fly Eagles fly. They fly a long way, too. They head to Seattle to take on the Seahawks, who have just had the gauntlet. Boy, the schedule makers did not give Seattle any help this year, man, at all. San Francisco, then Dallas, San Francisco again, now the Philadelphia Eagles. Dear God, give these guys a break, will you? That's brutal to sandwich those 4 games together. They're home. It's the 12th man. Geno Smith has reverted back to being the Geno Smith of old, but they're getting healthier, okay? They're getting healthier. Charbonnet's getting healthy. KW3 is getting healthy. And they still got Tyler Lockett, and they still got DK Metcalf. The ancillary tight ends can do enough. I don't trust the Eagles. I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but it's a record with no skips because what I'm saying is coming to pass every week, you guys. You Eagle fans out there can be mad if you want to, but the word is out. The word's on the street. You are not back up in that secondary. Bradbury and Slate are trash. Slay missed practice Friday. I don't know what that means. It might just be a maintenance day. I mean, you're a 33-year-old cornerback, man. Your best days are behind you. Bradbury was never good. He was never good. I'm sorry. They're going to attack that secondary. I think you're going to see kind of what happened to Dallas's secondary versus Seattle. I think DK Metcalf is a grown-ass man. If DK Metcalf came in my front door, I just have, what do you want me to cook you, bro? You want me to make you a sandwich? He's a grown man, and Tyler Lockett is still very, very good, and they can run the ball, man, and they're going to be home. I think that the Eagles are very desperate here because the rest of their schedule is fairly easy. They have to get this one. And you're seeing it by them being 3-point favorites. I saw a clip this week of they're having Jalen Hurts, learn how to go down when he needs to go down and not fumble the ball, which to me is embarrassing, number one, and very elementary, number two. I mean, we're doing this in week 15. You're learning how to protect the ball now. It shows a little lack of confidence. I think Sirianni and company have been very overconfident this year, and I think the Eagles team last year is better than this team, even with the addition of the Jalen Carters of the world. I don't trust the Eagles, man. I don't trust Seattle either. But home dogs pay dividends, man. And I'm telling you, everybody in the world is going to be like, the Eagles can't lose 3 games, can they? Guys, why can't they? Why can't they? The Niners lost 3 games in a row. Why can't they? I think they lose this game. I'm going to bet against the Eagles until that secondary shows me something. It's just that simple. And if they make it far into the playoffs and they're playing a team with a decent quarterback, I'm going to bet against them too. I don't hate the Eagles. I just study film, and I know what I see. When you play the Eagles, go right at that secondary because it's not good. Even with Byard from Tennessee, they're not good. Anyone with a brain can look and see what I'm seeing. Like I said, I trust my eyes more than I trust anything in this world besides the sun coming up. And they get carved up weekly. They're going to have to score 30 points to win this game because they have a very good secondary. Devin Witherspoon was the perfect pick for Seattle. That kid's a dog. They have a very good cover corner set. They're gonna have to let Jalen Hurts spin in order for them to win this game. Somehow, some way, people think they're gonna because they're 3-point favorites and Geno Smith is buns. But I think if they get KW3 and Zach Charbonnet going, which will be a tough task to do, but they're home, man. They're home. Stop being so vanilla and draw up some creativity here, Pete Carroll, and you're going to eat steak dinner on Monday Night Football.
What's the over-under in this game?
47.5.
I'd like to tease the over. I mean, you get to 41 points. I just feel like there's going to be a premium of points in this game. I mean,
there's going to be points in this game.
Yeah. That's my favorite action from this. I like the over in this. I mean, I think both teams are going to score 20-something each. I mean, Seattle's, there's the strength is in their receiving core. The weakness of the Eagles. Seattle's not very good defensively, like at all. You know what I mean?
The back end is.
Yeah. So I like the Eagles in this game. I don't know. I just don't like Seattle. I just don't think they're a particularly good football team.
They're going to play hard, man.
Geno Smith is just not the answer. And you know what I mean?
Not. Yeah,
he's short line, not. And I could just see the Eagles putting up 30, and I just don't
Geno
know
Smith
if Seattle's going to match that. Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles in this one. I don't know.
Something tells me to take the points. The last 3 weeks, you have taken the Eagles, and I have gone against them. I've been right exactly what I've said about them. They are who they are, man. I'm not saying they're pretenders, but when they go into this draft, they don't get any cornerback of value, they're crazy because that's their only weakness. That's their only weakness is their secondary. But this is a throwing league. There's a passing league, and if they get anything going in the air, this game is going to be over fast because I don't believe that they're as good as they were last year. You saw it in the Super Bowl, and it hasn't stopped. That's the slate, guys. You want to go over our 3-team teas for the people?
I don't know if we came up with our third consensus, but I will say that our two consensus so far are Denver and the plus points tonight.
Love Denver.
Saturday night game. We both agreed on the LA Rams. That was the other one that we were vehemently agreed on. So those are our two that are lost.
Tampa.
Yeah, I think he just teased Tampa again. I mean, it's just the value, just valuable soldiers, man.
Tampa. I love
just marching along.
Tampa Bay. Those are the 3 guys. I'm telling you right now, those 3 I like a lot. We hit our first 3 a couple weeks ago, 2 out of 3 last week. I like them a lot this week, those 3. So lay those and lay them with confidence because I think it's a winner chicken dinner on those 3. Parting shots.
I guess I just have to talk about the Raiders. I mean, golly, dude, it's another 7-9 season incoming. I mean, if I told you the Raiders scored 63 points in the last 2 weeks and their opponents have combined to score 26, I mean, would you ever think that the Raiders would be 1-1 in those games? It's something else, dude. I mean, it's just what they do. I mean, I don't know. It's just this team is so frustrating. It's so inconsistent. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Let me ask you this question. Do you have a franchise quarterback right now?
No, absolutely not. He's not going to be. He won't be the starting quarterback next year. I think Antonio Pierce might be the head coach, but I know for sure that Aiden O'Connell is not going to be the quarterback next year.
Then you guys know then you know what you have to do because the talent is undeniable.
I know.
You don't score 63 points with scrubs. Period. There's nothing else to say. The talent is undeniable.
The defense is undeniable right now. The Raiders' defense. I mean, even you lose 3-0. I mean, they pitched a
damn near
shutout.
Very well.
I mean, they're playing.
They got rid of Marcus Peters, man.
I
Sometimes you
love
have
Jack
to.
Jones, man. That was such an
Yeah.
underrated
So
signing.
old though, But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they can, but I believe you also have to strike while the iron's hot. When you see examples of guys like C.J. Stroud, that's all you need to know, man. One player
No,
can change that whole dynamic of your entire franchise. You saw it with Patrick Mahomes. You saw it with C.J. Stroud. You have to take a swing on a franchise quarterback. Sometimes it's going to be Trubisky, but you'll never know until you try. And you have to try. And the Raiders have been so reluctant to try. I hope
I
this is the
know.
year that they do it. Please, for the love of God, Allegiant Stadium deserves better. You saw flashes of that Thursday night. People were so happy. They were so happy. And the AFC West is better. The NFL is better when the Raiders are good. My parting shots of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I'm really disappointed. I got to be honest. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I'm willing to give you a pass because, for 7 years, you've been the perfect soldier. I mean, you've gotten the candy-coated responses. You've never stepped out of your lane. And so I'm willing to give you a pass. I mean, you give all the politically correct answers. You'll never throw anybody under the bus. You're the consummate professional. I mean, you are what everyone wishes they had in the franchise quarterback. But I'm really disappointed that you guys handled the press conferences and, the sound bites the way you did. I have a thought for you guys, okay? I watched The Last Dance. I watch how Michael Jordan handles his practices. I watch how Michael Jordan handles his teammates. The same thing with Kobe Bryant. Take that anger and replace that towards your teammates. There is a level of lollygagging with the Kansas City Chiefs that is almost comical. It's almost laughable. The commercials, the Taylor Swift. And I'm not saying don't go find love, Kelsey. Go find love, bro. You know what I mean? This is your life. Live it. But it is very difficult to run it back, more or less win one. And I just haven't seen the focus at all. Where is that frustration and anger towards your teammates? And remember the Titans, Herman Boone's like, drop a pass, run a mile. Turn the ball over, 50 pushes. Where is that? I guarantee you, if there was a healthy fear of repercussions, there'd be a bigger focus. Justin Watson says everyone's coming in, watching film earlier this week, looking at film. Guys, you should have been doing this since week one. I mean, you're professional athletes, and I think that if you want to be great, I mean, even Brady, man, Brady would go at anyone. Brady would go at anybody. Kobe, they have a whole mentality named after this guy because we are not standing for mediocrity, especially not in practice. Patrick Mahomes, it's time for you to step up and take that next step as a leader. Andy Reid's never going to do it. You know what I mean? They love him because the players get away with whatever they want to get away with. He's a player's coach. The commercials, guys, focus. You want to be mad at somebody, you be mad at your teammates. You don't go after the refs. The refs have cut you a break all season long. Dude, I'm a Chief fan, and I'm going to have to call you guys on the carpet. You know how many calls the Kansas City Chiefs have gotten? If the Kansas City Chiefs got every call right versus them in the last 2 years, they may not have one of those 2 Super Bowls. Guys, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing the franchise. And thank you for at least trying to walk it back on Monday. But you're embarrassing yourselves. The Kansas City Chiefs have to start focusing on football. No more State Farm commercials. Enough with the Swifty nonsense. You guys are not acting like a team that wants to run it back. You are facing 4 backup quarterbacks in the last 4 games. These are must-win games. Period. End of statement. And if you want to go to that next level, I'm not saying you need to start throwing tablets, Patrick. I'm not saying you need to start doing that. You don't need to be anyone but Patrick Mahomes. But you want to hold somebody accountable, start holding the people surrounding you accountable. You too, Andy Reid. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. You lead the league in drop passes. You know how many passes I saw you drop at the game? Balls that were right in the hands of these receivers. These guys would be doing crabs uphill if I was the coach. There'd be no days off. Day off? What? Get your shit together, guys, because this is embarrassing. You're embarrassing the kingdom and you've embarrassed yourselves. Real championship football teams do not conduct themselves in this manner. And I'm not saying it's not okay to be a player's coach, but you have to also know when to put your foot down, and I haven't seen it happen once this year. Rant over. World of Matchups, Week 15, that's the slate. Hope you guys enjoy the games. We got some games starting here soon. We probably won't be able to get this out for those early games, but everything else should hit. Spencer, enjoy the games, bro. I'm going to work. This is a big week for fantasy football. Good luck to all you guys out there. Good luck to your teams. Congratulations to the Raiders on what you did on Thursday, because that was fantastic. Yeah. And we are out. We will see you guys next week. Have a good day, man.
See ya.